Începutul verii a adus pe scenele clujene interpreți de excepție, cum ar fi Deep Purple și UB40. Dar despre acestea vom vorbi puțin mai târziu. Până atunci, cei care ne promit o vară muzicală sunt membrii trupei Bere Gratis. Propunerea lor este 2 inimi în colaborare cu Giulia. Haideți așadar să urmărim un interviu acordat de solistul trupei Bere Gratis, Miță.
Zile din șapte zile din șapte zile din Haide, plus cu brațele sus! 7 zile din șapte zile din șapte zile din 7 zile din 7, nimeni nu ne desparte.
Colaborarea cu Giulia la single-ul 2 inimi, te-ai gândit la următorul nume pentru următoarea colaborare sau e singurul proiect de genul ăsta?
Este foarte bună întrebarea și inteligentă și da, ne-am gândit și va fi un alt featuring, dar nu o să vă spunem cu cine.
Când o auzim pe radio?
O să începeți să o auziți, deja este pe unele radiouri și probabil că în săptămânile următoare va cuprinde mai multe radiouri.
Când vine vorba de muzică românească, ce asculți?
Ascult foarte multă muzică românească, în primul rând datorită meseriei, pentru că trebuie să fii informat despre ce se întâmplă. Nu pot să zic că ascult o anumită trupă sau anumite genuri muzicale. Ascult absolut tot ce îmi sună că e foarte interesant și care are un mesaj interesant.
Unde ne întâlnim cu Bere Gratis în vara 2013?
În zona Clujului o să ne întâlnim la Gherla săptămâna viitoare și la Iași avem săptămâna viitoare și după aia nu știu, dar ceea ce e important e că oamenii pot afla de pe beregratis.ro, pot afla de pe Facebook Bere Gratis Oficial și mi se pare că trăim într-o epocă în care dacă vrei să te duci să vezi pe cineva, ai toate posibilitățile din lume.
Hai, vino mai aproape. Hai, oceanul ne desparte. Tu pe un țăr, eu pe altul. Aristoc ne leagă cerul albastru.
Și trupa Proconsul a cântat în deschiderea concertului Deep Purple, creând o atmosferă incendiară în fața 20.000 de fani veniți special la Cluj pentru acest eveniment. Bodo, solistul trupei Proconsul, ne-a vorbit despre experiența de a cânta pe o scenă atât de mare în fața unui public foarte numeros.
Pașii mei să mă asculți în umbra ta. Nu ne-am mai văzut de mult. În urma lor a rămas glasul în care uneori îl mai ascult. Te-am visat în ochii de cum zâmbeai, cu chipul tău îndrat. Lumea s-a schimbat de când ne-am despărțit.
Care este cea mai iubită piesă de către fani?
Cu siguranță Cerul.
Dacă partea să te aduc în viața mea. Aș culege în partea o stea să te am pe tine. Să-ți spun când ai să vii, vorbe pe care le știi și le-am spus și cred că vrei să le auzi din nou.
Cu ce cântăreț român ai face o colaborare?
Cred că cu oricare. Tocmai am făcut 3 colaborări pe noul nostru album, 3 featuring-uri cu o trupă de băieți tineri. El Proiecto se numește, cu care am scos și cântecul No Matter What, titlul care dă și numele albumului. O altă colaborare cu Dana Nălbaru de la Haikyuu și mai avem un featuring împreună cu Anda Adam.
Apropo de piesa No Matter What, e așa puțin mai comercială. E un compromis?
Nu, sub nicio formă. Este un mesaj pe care noi l-am îmbrățișat din prima, un mesaj cu care au venit colegii noștri de la El Proiecto, băieții de la El Proiecto. Ne-a plăcut foarte tare mesajul și ce vrea să spună textul acestui cântec și ne-am implicat în această campanie. Am dat drumul la o mișcare care se numește No Matter What, I'm gonna keep my head up, pentru că suntem români no matter what.
Proconsul în vara 2013.
Planurile noastre sunt deja semnate, cum s-ar spune. Până în luna septembrie mergem cu Mix Music Evo și Lidl Legend Celeb în 18 orașe din România în fiecare weekend.
Deep Purple a susținut cel de-al 3-lea concert din România, de data aceasta la Cluj, în fața 20.000 de fani. Britanicii au urcat pe scenă în timp ce fanii scandau numele trupei și au fost răsplătiți cu melodiile de pe noul album, dar și hituri precum Smoke on the Water.
Dragilor, astăzi am deosebită plăcere să am lângă mine un monstru sacru al rockului. Este vorba de domnul Roger Glover, basist și fondator al trupei Deep Purple. Now what?
Yeah, and now what? Exactly. Is it a question or is it a statement? We
It's
don't.
a
We,
statement.
yeah. We don't know that. We don't know the answer to that. It's whatever you want it to be, really. It's almost like I like it because it's got the word now in it. And, you know, everyone, especially if you've got a long career, people always remember the past. And I'm very proud of the past, but, you know, sometimes you have to drag it around with a big chain. And we live in the now, you know, so it's very apropos, I think.
What do you know about Transylvania? Don't tell me about the vampires, about the Dracula, because I haven't here garlic for you.
The only thing I know about it is really that you have a lot of fine musicians here. And
Really?
quite a few years ago, we did a tour with a Romanian orchestra who was superb. And it was a great tour.
You know that Prince Charles has here a house or two, I don't know, I'm not sure, in Transylvania.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in a village, 100 kilometers from here or 150 kilometers from here. And he's a huge fan of Transylvania and of our tradition. He's every year here 2 or 3 times.
We met him a couple of years ago. And
Where? Not here.
No, it was at the Albert Hall.
You have a concert there.
A concert, and he came to visit. Actually, a very nice chap.
When I was young, I used to shake my hair at a concert. Dun, dun, something like that. But just a moment, because I have here something to remember that.
You have your hair? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, you do.
Dun, 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 like that.
Hey Stevie, what you got?
After playing some old classic songs of Purple's live for more than 40 years, how do you keep them fresh for both yourselves on stage and for your audience?
It's fresh because we're musicians and we're not cabaret artists. So it's very difficult not to play the same thing every night. You know, there's actually a lot more jazz in Purple than people think. And to that end, every night we play the songs that we've played a lot. There's always something new in them. A lot of young people come into our shows. The older we get, the younger the audience gets. And you kind of live it through their experience and their eyes and ears. I think the only goal that we had, apart from making a record that actually sonically sounded good, which was really important to us, was the fact that after 40 years or so, it's very difficult not to be a parody of yourself and to write in the manner of Deep Purple. We want to write really what we feel at the time we're playing it. From that point of view, we just jam until we enjoy something, and when we enjoy it, we turn it into a song. So there's no preconception here. We didn't have a sort of meeting around a board meeting and say, right, let's go a little bit more progressive on this, or anything like that. It's just what naturally happens.
Maybe this new direction, I mean a little bit progressive, it's this because of your producer Bob Ezrin as well, maybe. Because Bob Ezrin was the producer for Pink Floyd, I think, no?
He didn't really influence that much, but what he did say in our first meeting with him was, he said, forget trying to write a hit single or get on the radio or do all that. He said, he'd seen us the night before play in Toronto, and he said there was one moment on stage where it was purely a bit of spontaneity between Steve and Don. And he wanted to capture that in the studio. He said, you should really make a live album in the studio. And the songs really were up to us. We wrote the songs independent of him.
John Lord's passing away was a great loss for Deep Purple and also for the world of music. Is it true that John's spirit lingers on in Don Airey's Hammond?
Yeah, of course. It lingers on in all of us. Not only a great musician, but I mean, he was a great friend. And that's, from our point of view, that's more important than what he was as a musician. He was, he was a friend. And, we were very close even after he left the band. We still kept in touch and we saw him a lot. And I spoke to him about a month before he died, and he was full of plans and optimism. And yeah, it came as a shock. And certainly after that point, his spirit, if you like, his memory, he was constantly in our thoughts. Not that we did anything really about it other than lyrically. I think lyrically, it's You know, Ian Gillan and I write the lyrics together, and we sometimes like to get a focus on what we're writing about, but make it so ambiguous as it could be anything or anyone, so that people can make their own meanings up as to what we're singing about. And certainly when we were writing the lyrics, John came into our thoughts a lot. And there are a couple of songs on the album that are really about him.
Yeah, Above and Beyond and
Above
Uncommon
and Beyond
Man.
and Uncommon Man, yeah.
My favorite. I had the honor to meet Mr. Lord a few years ago in Bucharest at the concert. It was amazing.
Isn't he a lovely man?
Yeah, great. Will you play stuff from Now What tomorrow evening? All? Or?
No, we haven't quite got to that yet. We've been working pretty hard, touring. So we rehearse them a little bit, one at a time, sometimes in the dressing room, sometimes in a sound check. We play, I don't know, I think maybe 3, possibly 4. It changes every night. We're trying different ones. So, but eventually, I mean, I think it'd be great if we just did the whole album start to finish. But that's, a little risky, especially in festivals, because festival crowd, they just want to hear what they know, So we mix them up. As Ian Gillan says, we put the little babies next to their big brothers.
By the way, why Now What?
We're a band that doesn't have a leader. We're a real democratic band, so we all have a say. And you try getting a decision out of us.
You vote?
We vote, yeah. It's not a secret vote either. But Ian Gillan suggested Now What quite early in the process, and at first I thought it was a bit gimmicky and I didn't really like it. And over the course of making the album, I think all of us came up with different titles, but somehow Now What stuck. And certainly when the record company saw the question mark and the exclamation mark, they loved that. So in the end, we all kind of gave up and went, okay, now what?
Someone said that if you are fashionable today, you're going to be out of fashion tomorrow.
We said that.
Beg your pardon?
We said that.
Yeah, you said that. Mr. Gillan or you?
We both say it.
Still, the music of Deep Purple has the same success today as it had 40 years ago. How do you explain that?
Well, I don't know if it has the same success, to be honest. I mean, the first time you break into a scene and the first time you really become successful, you can't ever replicate that. You can't be successful for the first time ever again.
This might be a hard question, but I must ask it. Which is your favorite Deep Purple song? It's a hard question, yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course, it changes all the time. And I do get asked that sometimes. And I think Perfect Strangers is a song that I'm very proud to have been part of, because I think it's a very unusual song. But to me, the song that really formed us, to me, is Hard Lovin' Man of Deep Purple in rock.
Smoke on the Water has an interesting story. Can you share it with us?
Read the lyrics. It's all in the lyrics. It's true. It was written conversationally, and it was at the end of the recording of Machine Head, and we had this one track left over that had no vocals on it. And it was one track that we did in a different place to the Grand Hotel. And I mean, you want the whole story? In a nutshell?
Briefly.
We wanted to record an album in a live setting because we didn't like studios. Studios are very dead. So we wanted to basically record on a stage. And the casino in Montreux had a venue in it. It's like a 2,000 or 3,000 seater venue, something like that. And we'd played there a few times, in fact. We played there first in 1969, I think. And Claude Nobbs, who ran the thing, he said, yeah, you can use the place, but it's free for 3 weeks. So great, so we booked a Rolling Stones mobile studio, which was the best studio around at the time. and arrived there with all our gear and girlfriends and whatever. And Claude met us. He said, "Don't put your gear in yet, because there's one show to go before you can put your equipment in. And you're welcome to come along to it. It was tomorrow afternoon. It's Frank Zappa, 3 o'clock." Okay, fine. So we went along to see the show, which was great. Flo and Eddie in full form. I'm a big Zappa fan anyway. And about an hour into the show, someone shot a flare gun into the ceiling and started a fire, which basically destroyed this enormous old wooden building. It was full of restaurants and discos and convention center and the gambling, obviously, the casino itself. And it was a huge, enormous fire. No one got really hurt. And so Claude booked us into, I think a couple of days later, he booked us into a little theater fairly close to it. And we made one song there. But we didn't do anything to it. We couldn't finish there because the police stopped us. They were actually trying to break in the doors. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. We were still playing away, and they said, "You can't do this. You're keeping the entire town awake." You know? It's very difficult to find somewhere to make noise in a sleepy little town like Montreux, which is kind of an old folks retirement town, or was then anyway. So it took us about 5 days to find somewhere else, and that was a big old hotel that was closed for the season. So in the corridor of that's where we made the album. So when we almost finished the album, we came back to this one track that we had and said, "Let's just write a song about what happened to us." That's all. It's as simple as that. And we wrote it conversationally. We all came out to Montreux. "Oh, like James, yeah, it's all there."
The final question. Where is the music industry heading for now?
Hell.
Hell?
Hell.
Brief. Hell.
Well, you see, music industry is two words that don't belong together.
The music, it's important. Yeah. Okay, I wish you luck, and I'm looking forward to see your gig tomorrow evening.
Me too.
Thank you very much.
Me too. Thank you, Marius.
Thank you.
That was a very nice interview.
We ended up at the Grand Hotel. It was empty, cold and bare. The Rolling Stones playing just outside, making our music.
Care au fost cele mai haioase momente din timpul interviului cu Roger Glover, basistul trupei Deep Purple? Ne va spune Marius Aciu în câteva momente și tot atunci vom afla cine va câștiga geanta semnată de un designer cunoscut, pusă la bătaie în rubrica Fashion Box.